Have you ever spent hours watching a bolo video or a what sold video, gone to that thrift store, bought that same item, put it on your store, and it just never ends up selling? And then you start questioning yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why can they do it and I can't? Well, I'm here to say that it might not necessarily be that item and it might not necessarily be you, but that uncertainty that you may be feeling is building your business on borrowed knowledge instead of your own. And trust me, I've been there. Some of those items would end up selling, but others wouldn't be selling as fast as I was wanting or that I was hoping for. And every time I had that failure or that expectation not be met, I started feeling unsure, uncertain, and feeling frustrated that I didn't end up having control over my store and I was just relying on someone else's information. Now, I want to be clear, not all bolo videos are bad. That's not what I'm saying. They are great for inspiration, entertainment, awareness, and seeing what's possible. The issue I see is resellers, especially starting out, are building the foundation of their business on that borrowed knowledge instead of their own. So they aren't becoming self-reliant, self-sufficient resellers. They're just at the mercy of someone else's homework. So the problem with relying heavily on bolo videos, you are borrowing someone else's standards. What might work for them, what they might want for their store may not be what you want for your store or may not work out the same way for you. When you watch someone else's bolo videos, you don't actually know how long they're okay with holding that item for, or you don't know how much profit they're okay with making, and you don't even know what their goals are. They might be okay with making $10 4 years from now. Whereas for me, I want to make that $10 within a couple of months. So you can go ahead and start seeing that what might work for them doesn't work for me. And that gap needs to be filled with my own research and not just borrowing their research. As pre-owned clothing resellers, our market is constantly changing. Pre-owned clothing is not static at all. The seasons are constantly changing, supply and demand changes. So what may have sold really well for someone last month may not sell well for you today. So I would view bolo videos more like a snapshot. Again, you can use it as like awareness, inspiration, a snapshot, but to actually build your business on that, I would rather have it be built on real-time decision making. The next issue is everyone is watching the same video. When a bolo video blows up, everyone sees it, everyone buys it, and now everyone's trying to sell it, which means more competition, lower prices, and slower sales. So what once used to be easy to sell is no longer easy. The next problem is you could be missing out on great opportunities. If you're only buying what's on the bolo lists, you could be walking past profitable items every single day, purely just because it's not on the list and you've never heard of it before. Or you may have heard somebody say, this brand is not a bolo, don't pick this up. And then you pass it up in the store when it very well could have been a good pickup for your store. The next problem is you could be wasting your time, because if you are watching the bolo videos to get some ideas, you have to vet who is making the video. Do your goals align with their goals? Do your standards align with their standards? Is it still even relevant today? Is it outdated and old news? By the time you're done with that vetting process, you could have just spent that time doing your own research. So instead of asking yourself, what should I pick up every single time you walk into the thrift store, I want you to start asking yourself, how do I know what's worth picking up? Because the goal behind a successful reseller isn't to just memorize a ton of items. It's being able to walk into a thrift store confidently, knowing exactly what you're looking for your store. So that shift that I'm talking about from asking, what should I pick up, to how do I know what to pick up? That gap is filled with a skill called pattern recognition, and you get that through studying. When you do your own research, you'll start noticing patterns. You're going to start seeing which brands are performing better than others, what sizes are selling faster than others, what materials bring in more money than others. Over time, as your studying and research compounds on top of each other, you no longer have to look up every single item. Whenever you come across an item in the thrift store, you'll be able to determine if it's worth your time looking up or passing on, if you don't already know to pick it up to begin with due to your research. Using this skill and studying a lot will give you the speed that you need to go through a thrift store much more quickly, and your confidence soars because you know what you're doing is correct and perfect for your store. So the transformation that I want you to feel is, instead of feeling overwhelmed and unsure and relying on someone else's information for your business. I want you to transform into being a reliant, self-sufficient reseller who knows exactly what they're doing. You know what you're looking for, you know what's worth your time, and you know what fits your store. So now the question goes from what do I pick up to how do I know what to pick up? How do we actually do this? And I'll show you exactly how I research any category that I want more knowledge in, step by step. That way you can do this too and start gaining your own research and becoming more confident as a reseller. So as a top 1% pre-owned clothing reseller, the next step in the system that I use is research. And although I have sold almost 40,000 items, I still don't know everything there is about clothing. That's just how huge the pre-owned clothing market is. So our first step within the system is to determine what kind of sell-through rate we want for our store. The second step within my system is now researching to find those items. That way we can find items that meet our sell-through rate goal that we just set for ourselves, and now we can start seeing what meets our profit goal. So for this research example, I want to learn a little bit more about golf polos because currently at this time we're heading into summer. So now that we know what our sell-through rate goal is from the previous video, this video we're going to determine what our profit goal is going to be for a certain item. This will unlock some numbers that we need for our research to get started. So for this example, I want to learn more about golf polos, specifically men's. I know at the thrift store, my average cost of good is going to be around $5, $5 to $6. I want to make an average profit of $15 or more for my items. So I need to move on over to the eBay fee calculator to plug and poke some numbers to see what my minimum list price needs to be. Meaning, what is the absolute minimum price that my item needs to go up for? So whenever it sells, I'm bringing in around $15 profit. I like using the eBay fee calculator to determine what my minimum list price needs to be because it will take an account of all the fees that go in with the sale. So using the eBay fee calculator, I now know I need to be finding golf polos that I could be listing for at least $25 to $30. Like that's around my minimum right there. That way, if I'm listing more towards the 30 side, an offer comes in and it sells for 25, great. Or if I list it for 25, hopefully it sells for 25. But I understand that if I list it for $25 and it sells for less, I'm gonna be making less profit on that sale. So I like to give myself a little bit of a range because it also depends on how much this is going to be as well. Now that we know what our minimum list price is going to be, let's head on over to researching what golf polos will meet this threshold or above to be bringing in at least $15 profit. So we've already determined the minimum list price that I want for my store. It could be different for you. So let's go ahead and start researching. So when it comes to researching, I like to just keep it, again, more general in the search bar. That way I'm not pulling up anything weird title-wise. So I'm going to just type in golf polo, and then I'll be filtering down to the specific categories I want. Right now, I want to just focus in on men's polos, but this would be a great opportunity to also just take a peek on what women's polos are doing and which ones would meet my metrics for that. Anyway, let's go to men's shirt polos. And I'm not choosing any brand right now. I'm just purely going to pre-owned. And here, I'm just going to split the difference. For me, I'm going to just put a minimum of $28 as my list price. That way, if I can sell the item for around 25 bucks, I'm meeting my profit margin. This is what is listed for at least $28. I'm going to go ahead and just hit sold so we can actually see what's selling at that price point. This is where pattern recognition is going to really help us. We're looking for the consistent brands and styles that are popping up. Once we pick out a handful of brands, then we can go within each brand and do a deeper research in them. But for right now, I'm just going to pull some names of brands that I'm seeing come across consistently. So as the primary meal planner, it gets a bit redundant whenever it comes to meal planning every single week. One thing that I've been doing to switch it up is I've been using HelloFresh. This time around, coming back to it, I saw that they had way more global recipes to choose from and their portion sizes have increased.
The first meal I cooked was a Szechuan pork noodle stir fry.
I was so excited to try another Asian dish that I hadn't ever experienced. The cool thing about HelloFresh was that I was able to make something I've never made before, and I didn't have to go searching for these hard to find global ingredients in my area. They sent these ingredients pre-portioned and ready to cook with. This dish was so flavorful, had some spice to it. I feel like it was the perfect comfort meal sitting down watching a movie with the family.
Use my code CARRYATHOME HFZW at HelloFresh.com to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling Dragon Walk, valued at $179.99 on your 5th box. Limited quantities available while supplies last. Click the link below or use my code CARRYATHOME HFZW at HelloFresh.com to sign up today.
We have a Peter Millar featherweight. We have 2 Graysons, a Robert Graham, Holderness and Bourne, Arc'teryx, Holderness and Bourne, Roback, Primo. Again, we just open it up and see what the Primo logo looks like. It's just good to get familiar with what each brand looks like. Here I have written down what is showing up in my research are brands like Holderness and Bourne, Arc'teryx, Roback, Peter Millar, Summer Comfort, and Crown Crafted, and many more. What I'm not seeing so far is Eddie Bauer, Under Armour, Greg Norman, Columbia, New Balance. I haven't seen a single one of those pop up. I did see a Nike pop up. It was like a Tiger Woods Nike combo. Not saying that there isn't an Eddie Bauer polo that wouldn't meet my metrics. I'm just saying most frequently the other brands are showing up than the others. So knowing what is showing up in my research and what's not showing up will help quicken as I go through hundreds of polos being hung up in the thrift store rack or digging through the bins. If I haven't seen regular Nike or Under Armour come up in my research, when I come across Nike or Under Armour, I can take that risk and say, I'm not gonna stand here and look up every single Nike polo that I come across. That's where speed and efficiency come from, pattern recognition. If I noticed that the Nike polo had a top 100 golf course logo embroidered on it, that's something that I might wanna consider because it could have good money in it. If you notice just something special about an item where it just stands out to you and you haven't come across that in your research at all, then take that time to study it and look it up. But for everything else where it just seems pretty basic, then take the risk and just say, I'm gonna pass on it and not waste my time looking it up, because chances are, if it didn't show up in my research, it's not going to fit my metrics that I want for my store. So now we're gonna do a little bit of a deep dive into each brand. Now that I have a short list of brands to start working with, I want to dig a little bit deeper into the brands to see if they are going to meet my sell-through rate metrics as well. And I also just want to make sure that these aren't just like one-off comps that I'm coming across, that I want to see that that brand is consistently bringing in that profit margin that I would be wanting for my store. Roback was one that like popped up 3 times in a row. So let's just go into Roback Golf Polo. Again, we're going to stay in that pre-owned category. I'm going to take the price off because this is where I get to then determine, is it just happenstance that it hit at least $28 and everything else consistently is under? So let's open that up and then we can figure out what sizes are doing well, what patterns are doing well, start using that pattern recognition skill to know within Roback what will hit our metrics and what won't. So just right off the bat, I want to just see what the overall general sell-through rate is of a Roback golf polo. We have 3,600 sold with 1,800 listed, so that's a phenomenal sell-through rate on these. So we're working with spring data on this as well, and it's already doing this fantastic. I can only assume it will get even better as we head into the summer. So that's promising, but I can't just treat all the sizes the same because there might be a size or 2 in there that perform really poorly, or they may all be average and some sizes perform phenomenally better than others. So it's just good knowledge that I want to have for myself. That way I have a more informed buying decision. So let's start out with size small. 113 listed with 184 sold. Fantastic. And if you haven't seen step 1 or my previous video about sell-through rate, I like to aim for around 50% general. I will go down to 30% and in between if there's enough meat on the bone to then drop the price down to quicken the sell-through rate. So I'm still making my profit and I'm getting the speed of the sale that I want. But I try to aim for around 50% as my baseline. So for the size medium, we have 267 listed with, wow, that medium is flying off the shelf. That's insane. That has a better sell-through rate than the small. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna pick up small. It's just, I know medium is going to be performing a lot better. So large, we have 377 currently listed with 1,000 sold. Wow. Medium and large are crushing it right now. Extra large, we have 500 listed with 900 sold. And 2XL, we have 433 listed with 451 sold. So medium and large dominate as of right now. Knowing that I'm safe with rowback golf polos, sell-through rate wise, and looking at their average consistent sale price, I'm gonna be just fine if I can get them for $5 or less with my profit goal as well. So this is just a safe bet. I'll go out and I'll be looking for rowback for sure. I know with confidence that that would be a fantastic item to put in my store because it meets my metrics. Now that may be a given for a lot of us because maybe rowback, you just know that rowback is a great brand, but not everyone is pre-installed with all of this information in their head. So that's why I like to just showcase how I do it. We can do this with literally every single brand that I wrote down, but I won't for the sake of the time of the video, but I'm just showing you how I do this. That way then you can plug and poke your own numbers and figure out your own research on what would be a perfect fit for your store. While I'm here, I would just like to see, not size specific, but if we go from highest to lowest and not looking at lots, it would be fun to see what rowbacks have the highest value because there might be a rare print out there. Azalea has popped up quite a lot and they are for really good money. Azalea is a flower and I have seen like 5 of these azalea prints all go for $100, $120. Of course, if I see rowback, I'm going to be picking it up for my store. But if I see these flowers, I know I've got something super special while I'm outsourcing. Like it's just azalea, azalea, azalea all over. This is just different than your regular striped or polka dot or even geometric patterns, the more generic ones. So it's just that easy to be able to open up your laptop or your computer or your phone and just start researching different categories that you don't have as much knowledge in, that you want to be more confident in, or just to further your education, because like I said, I've sold almost 40,000 items so far and I can guarantee you, I don't know everything about clothing. So I am still learning more and more. This is just a fantastic way to deepen your knowledge and give yourself more opportunities whenever you are thrifting and sourcing. So bolo videos can give you ideas, but they cannot give you the confidence. Confidence comes from knowing what you're going to be buying before you even walk into the store. And that is a skill you can learn. And I encourage you to grab a free trial to join my mastermind. That way you can get help implementing the tools and the things I teach here on YouTube. You get to build your business alongside with me and others in the group. All have that same goal of having faster turnover stores, bringing in great profit and reaching the financial goals that we want without needing to invest a ton of time and overhead to reach those goals. So if that sounds like a community you want to plug yourself into, I've got my link down below for you to check it out. But thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.